Hello Jacqueline, welcome to Pregnancy in Preparation. Can you just tell us what you do for a living and how you fit into the pregnancy conversation?
Well, I'm a midwife and I've been employed for 11 years and I've done a little bit of hospital and I'm currently working as a community midwife.
Okay, and I know you've had a couple of recent experiences which were really exciting, so can you just tell us a little bit about those?
Well, I've as I say, I work in community and I've had a couple of ladies recently who I've got to know pretty well in their pregnancies and I encourage them to call me when they're in labour. They were both actually planning to have hospital deliveries and were both pretty adamant that they really didn't want to have their babies at home. But they called me when they were in labour and I went round to see them at home. And both of them actually chose to stay at home and have their babies at home.
Excellent.
Even when I arrived, one of the ladies was still absolutely sure that she did not want to have her baby at home, and several occasions throughout the labour she kept saying, I will want to go in, I will want to go in, I will want to go in. But the situation just never arose. We just let the labour play out and encouraged her to go with her body and take her time and didn't put any pressure on her to make any decisions. And because she had a midwife with her that she knew and trusted, she felt confident and comfortable to stay.
Fantastic.
So she had a beautiful home birth and is absolutely delighted with her experience.
Oh, brilliant. So tell us why you think that the home birth situation is, much better for these women, so to speak.
Well, they're in their own environment, so they're in an environment where they feel relaxed and they're in control, which is very important. Your body works. The hormones have a huge play out in how labour progresses, and if there's too much adrenaline buzzing around the system, it really interferes with labour. So being in an environment where you feel in control is really, really important. And just taking the pressure off women and allowing their bodies to do their jobs is really important to labour progressing well. So it has a huge impact on how well the labour will play out. It's also, there are other huge benefits of having a baby at home. For that lady, she had a midwife with her that she knew very well, and there were actually two of us there, so she had two midwives dedicated to looking after her. There's nobody else there, so you never run the risk of your midwife leaving you to go and look after someone else, which can happen in a hospital situation. So you know that you've got a midwife that's with you 100% of the time, is dedicated to looking after you. You've also got the benefits of not sort of running the risk of hospital-acquired infection, which I know is a big worry for a lot of women these days. So from a safety point of view, that's a big plus.
And obviously some women listening to this are going to be thinking, yes, but you've got the safety back up in the hospital, etc.
Yeah.
Can you just elaborate a little bit for them so that they can understand what you were saying about the adrenaline, etc., and that sort of impact on the mum and baby?
Yeah. Well, the midwives obviously are trained in all aspects of dealing with emergencies, and we bring all the equipment we would need with us to deal with emergencies in the home situation. But we would only encourage women that don't have any complications to labour at home. Obviously, any woman who has a known complication we would encourage to give birth in the hospital. And if any deviations from what we would consider to be normal labour occur, then we would transfer. So we don't wait for a big emergency to happen. Any warning signs that flash up, then we would do a transfer. But we do have the equipment we need with us to make it safe if anything unexpected happens.
Right. So when you say about some of these complications that they may have, that may limit them having that choice, so to speak, can you just describe some of those complications that they may have had through their pregnancy?
Yeah. Diabetic pregnancies are high risk, for example, so women with pre-existing medical conditions wouldn't be encouraged to have a baby at home. Women whose babies may not have grown very well, for example, or have had bleeding in their pregnancies. Women who've got things like clotting disorders where they might be more at risk of hemorrhage. So, I mean, we're assessing risk all the way through the pregnancy, so the vast majority of women will be low risk and will be eligible or a good candidate to have a home birth. I think the main limiting factor for home birth rates in the UK is actually fear. That women need to overcome that fear and realise that home birth is a very safe choice for women with no complications. Yeah.